and more rocks for 10 or 11 hours a day. Just talk us through what level of concentration that needs. I mean, there's no concentrating for a little while and then going out and then concentrating again. It must be amazing to try and maintain that.
I've never seen so many rocks in my life. Yeah, little rocks, big rocks, square rocks, flat rocks, empty rocks, all kinds of rocks. You know, you do that for 500 meters, a few kilometers, that's okay, but you do that for 10, 11 hours a day for 5 days, I'm swearing you had enough of rocks, and you just hit one rock at a time, and you try to avoid one only to hit another one. It's just...
Some might say you've got rocks in your head for doing the Dakar Rally in the first place, but you actually hit a tree, did you? And lived to tell. How lucky are you?
Very lucky. I had, I think, 3 lives, almost like those video games. I used all 3 of them, and it didn't go game over at the end, so that was good. The first tree, I got impatient. That was my own fault. I got impatient behind a quad motorcycle stuck in the dust, and I tried to get closer to the bike just to get at the beginning of the dust so I could see, and the road went a little bit sideways. Went outside. When I went outside, the dust disappeared, but there was a tree in front of me. So I looked at the tree, I said the tree's gonna have to break, and I hit the tree about 70 or 80 kilometers an hour. The tree didn't break, the bike stopped still, and I flew over the bars. Got up, not a scratch. Second crash, but a few days later, I still don't know what happened. I was riding fine, 90 kilometers an hour, the bike just dropped underneath me. And then the third one, we were doing about 140, 150 kilometers an hour on the long straightaways. Roadbook, no danger, and I think a hole had developed with the other riders, and I hit the hole, the bike went up in the air, 140 kilometers an hour, landed, and I slid sideways at that speed, slowly reducing the speed, did a whole 180 degrees, landed at 5 kilometers an hour, not a scratch. How lucky is that?
Now, I mean, others weren't so lucky. Your good friend Elmer Simons was one of the deaths this year. How does that affect you when you have to get up and you have to go at it again, and how much of that stays in the back of your mind?
You try to put it in a very small corner, not to think about it too much, but it does affect you. You know, every time you see somebody stopped, and you want to make sure that they are sitting or they are moving. Elmer was such a nice person, always smiling, always friendly, saying hello to everybody, and he wanted to do the Dakar Rally for so many years. He was a mechanic before, and his brother was there to help him as a support crew, and something bad happened.
There was 2 riders that died this time around. Do you mark your own special? Do you just say stop and have a thought for them in the back of your mind, or do you mark that day or that occasion? Do you go back to the spot later on? How do you make that?